Hey everybody, it's Rebecca the dietitian coming at you today, walking my dogs, and I decided to talk to you about exercise. Exercise has been on my mind recently because I've come across some new studies and some new professionals who have an interesting opinion on exercise and weight loss, and some science to back it up. So I'm going to chat with you a little bit about that today. And these studies and this information fit in with my background. I think most of you know I used to be 50 pounds heavier than I am now, and I struggled with my weight basically starting in third grade. My doctor told me to stop eating so much and lose some weight and figure that out. And so I was always active. I was always athletic. I was on the swim team before I can remember. When I was probably 5 years old, I was on this competitive swim team. I'm sure it wasn't very good then, but I became a quite good competitive swimmer, and I was a competitive volleyball player, and then I was on the ski team, and so I was always playing sports, but I was still struggling with my weight. I was always active, I was always exercising, I'm always interested in spending my days off going rollerblading or hiking, and I enjoy that. So, and I used to jog until I've had 6 knee surgeries, so had to give up some of that stuff, but I still enjoy elliptical and yoga and doing some workouts at home. Well, none of that helped my weight. And what I discovered for me, and well, for most of my clients, is that it's just food is more important. So exercise is fantastic, and I actually have some friends that kind of watched their food but couldn't get their situation on track until they started exercising. So that's great if that's you, but for the vast majority of people, you've got to realize that, you can't exercise away a bad diet. A really good exercise session for an hour might burn 500-600 calories, and I don't know about you, but I could go and be like, good for me for exercising, and have a bowl of ice cream, and then there's the 500 or 600 calories, and then I continue to congratulate myself for the rest of the day by eating more, and it doesn't work out so well. I end up gaining weight, and the studies actually back that up. For weight loss, unfortunately, a lot of people who exercise who don't like it, especially if you don't like exercising and you're doing it and you kind of feel like it's a bit of a punishment, and that we tend to reward ourselves. We tend to go like, well, good for me, I did that and that was hard, and I deserve to reward myself, and then we eat more, and that's not going to work out, right? So it's just too easy to eat too much and negate all of the rewards of the calorie burn from the exercise. So you're not negating all the rewards. You're going to get strong, and it's good for your heart, and it's good for your body, and if you enjoy it, it's good for your mental state, and there's all kinds of benefits. But specifically for weight loss, you've got to realize that eating is more important. So a couple of opinions I've come across lately, and these are scientifically backed. They're scientific or science professionals. Just a couple good points and studies to back them up. One is that in studies, people tend to reward themselves with more calories than they burned in the exercise. So consider that if you're trying to lose weight, that you're much better off only doing it if you really enjoy it, or finding something you really enjoy so that you don't feel like you have to reward yourself with a bunch of calories afterwards. And sorry, I'm getting tangled up in my dog leashes. So another thing is, if you're taking the time to exercise, say you're taking an hour and a half, you're driving to and from the gym for 15 minutes each, and you're an hour in there, that's an hour and a half. And if you don't have time to go to the grocery store, get healthy food or food prep or make yourself healthy food, and you take all that time to go exercise, but then you're having to run to restaurants or run to get fast food or just eat whatever's around, you're probably not going to lose weight, because the calorie deficit that the calories you burned in that workout are not going to make up for the lack of groceries in your house and healthy foods available to counter all the other stuff that's high calorie that you might just run into and pick up because you didn't plan ahead or you didn't go to the grocery store. So make sure that your time exercising doesn't take away from your time preparing healthy food and making sure that you are taking good care of yourself food-wise. So what I've been focusing on lately myself is really just doing exercise that I enjoy, and I'm giving myself a break. I'm letting go of the guilt associated with that. You know, I'm in the health industry, and sometimes I get involved too in feeling guilty if I'm not doing hours of exercise at a time, and, you know, lifting heavy weights and doing really hard things and getting my cardio in. And what I've been doing is just doing things I like every day. I enjoy walking my dogs twice a day because they love it. It's good for us. It's good for all of us. Often my husband comes and we bond and talk, and that's our time together. And so I love that. And I love doing some yoga sometimes. And I actually feel really good when I'm taking the time to do some toning exercises. I always laugh because I always tell people, you know, if I haven't exercised in months and I feel really, you know, flabby and soft, I could exercise one time, and if I get that muscle soreness that you get from the exercise, I feel like I'm really looking good. And I'm sure I look the same to everybody else, but I feel really good. And if I've been exercising a lot, and I probably look pretty good, if I take, you know, a week off, I look the same to everybody. I look pretty good, but I feel so flabby. So for me personally, I really like the feeling of being a little bit sore from a toning workout. So I enjoy that. So you got to find what you like. Do you like to do some classes? I like to work out at home. I think I've mentioned to most of you, I like to find workouts on YouTube, little yoga apps and some free things like that, and just have fun with it. So basically, a couple things to summarize. One, you can't exercise away a bad diet. So don't test that theory. Just exercise. So yeah, you can't exercise away a bad diet. You got to focus on the food. Make sure you're taking time to feed yourself well and eat the healthy food for the right amount of calories so that you're able to manage your healthy weight. That's one. Two, find exercises that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy them, studies show that they're not going to give you much benefit. The stress and the anxiety that it's causing is going to mess with your hormones and mess with your weight loss. So you've got to find things that you enjoy so that you don't feel like you have to reward yourself afterwards. And with ice cream or other foods, and lose the guilt. The guilt doesn't help anybody. So many of us are so busy and stressed out. And again, hormonally, it's just not good for us. So we're not going to lose weight if we're all in adrenal fatigue and stressed out, and we don't have time in our life to prepare healthy food or go to the grocery store. So you've got to find things that don't stress you out, that you enjoy, that make you happy. And yeah, so that's what I've been thinking about with exercise lately, and I hope that helps someone out there. Love you guys, and I'll see you next week.